Listen, when we're celebrating the fact that it's 7 degrees,
Oh, no. It's 11. It's 11, but feels like 9.
bring me the beach chair.
It was such hard days of shooting. It was wet, it was muddy. I'm rolling in that mud.
Give me your hand. I'm going down.
Today, we get to meet the actor who portrays an iconic Tolkien character never before seen on screen. But first, we have Ismael Cruz Cordova and Maxim Baldry here to talk about their new alliance. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Can you tell us how it felt to be back for season 2, Ismael?
You know, I've never actually done a season 2 of anything, so it was such a profound experience to know your character and just to take it even deeper.
Yeah. Maxim?
Well, there's always like a little bit of apprehensiveness as well, tinged with excitement, because you never quite know where your characters are going. So we always get these scripts, and then we go, "What's happening?" And it's like Christmas, but every time you get a script.
I was gonna say, you got a script?
No, we kind of get a rough overview, but it's obviously until it's in the script, you don't quite know how your story interweaves with others.
Can you talk about how Arondir is carrying his grief? I mean, seeing you dazzle, in your entrance in episode 3 and then see the grief on your face was startling.
I always say that Arondir has like a crack in which humanness is going in. So the grief that he's feeling is so foreign. And I think he puts all of his efforts into keeping his promise of keeping Theo safe and while grappling with this darkness. But as you can see, he is moving through grief and vengeance. He has one motivation, main motivation aside from keeping Theo safe, which is to get to Adar, who has stolen from him so much by this point.
Isildur is kind of a fish out of water in this Middle-earth world.
It's ironic because in season 1, he is so desperate to leave Numenor and travel to Middle-earth and explore the world. And in season 2, he realizes what he's left behind. And it's kind of a story for him of realizing what home means to him and is desperate to go home. I didn't quite know that we were going to have so much to do. So that was such a
I was nervous
surprise.
about it.
You were nervous about working with him? Is he a diva?
No. We know each other, like, we hung out with each other quite a bit in first season, but that's like, we are very different from our characters. So our interactions, I just didn't know how it was gonna go. But it was actually great. We had a great time. I mean, he's a goofball. You're like a goofball in real life. I'm about to do something very serious, and Maxim was in the sides, like going, playing his like air bass, and it would break with all that heaviness. But you're still able to perform deeply, and that also makes you feel safe with your scene partner. So you can play even deeper. You can be even more serious. So I really appreciated that from working with him.
We had so much fun doing it, even though that it was kind of painful at times, and it was the middle of the night. At times it was snowing, and we just had a sense of humor about it, and we kind of indulged ourselves in laughing as well as working, and I think that makes it so much more pleasurable.
I look up to Ismael. He's a powerful on-screen presence. Has inspired many, including myself.
Listen, I'm not mad at that.
We have to talk about this giant mud trap monster sequence because, again, how fantastic was the experience and how much mud was there?
There was a lot of mud. It wasn't fantastic.
It took a while to decrust after the mud. I mean, they sold it to us, I don't know whether the makeup department told you, but they were like, oh, it's gonna be like mud clay, so it's gonna be like a bath.
Like a spa?
Yeah, like a spa bath. Don't think it was necessarily.
Okay, Ismael, hypothetical question. If Arondir had been in Elrond or Gil-galad's shoes, would he have kept the rings or destroyed them?
What we've seen of Arondir to this point, he's heavily ethical and like the sense of dignity. I think his decision would have been to not keep them. You know, even to his detriment, sometimes he makes decisions in that way. So I like to think that he wouldn't have. I personally would have. Ismael would have kept the rings.
Ismael. Well, Maxim, I'm sorry, I can't ask you about your character decision in this. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. It's been a wonderful season watching you guys grow together.
Thank you
honestly.
so much.
Thank you.
Like,
Drink water. Go to sleep.
Who are you?
Been a while since I've been called much of anything, but back in the Withywindle, folk used to call me Bombadil. Tom Bombadil.
Let's welcome episode 4 directors Louise Hooper and Senna Pomrey, plus Tom Bombadil himself, Rory Kinnear. Hello there.
Hello.
Rory, you had not read the books when
Don't give
JD
away
and
the secrets.
Listen, I'm just telling it like it is, okay? You're here.
Yeah,
So what did you
luckily I
do?
did
Did you
have to.
dive in? How did you?
I did. I met online with JD and Patrick, and they said, you know, that we're very excited to ask you to play this role. I went downstairs and I said to my partner, they've asked me to do this part in the Lord of the Rings thing. She said, oh, what part? She has read them. And I said, hey, Bombadil. And she said, do you mean Tom Bombadil? You know that's my favourite character in the whole of the trilogy. I said, well, I better do it then.
Yes!
And that was the story. That was what led me to it. So I then went and got, obviously, into the books and saw what a wonderful character it was and what potential it has in this sort of new telling of the story as well.
Why do you think it took so long for Tom Bombadil to make it to the screen?
I think what's wonderful within the world that JD and Patrick are creating, they knew that here was this character so rich in potential for driving the narrative forward.
Senna, what did you think? I mean, you had scenes with Tom Bombadil as a character. How do you approach that kind of, world building in a way?
What I love is him guiding the stranger. And that, to me, is a very important puzzle and part of the season, because that really dictates where the stranger goes,
Yeah.
which is going to be a fascinating thing.
Louise, what do you think about Tom Bombadil as a character?
I mean, he's so enigmatic, mercurial. He's really hard to pin down. That embodiment of nature is just so important to us. And so we had this really arid desert where everything's been destroyed, but there around him, he sort of emanates this sort of fecundity and fertility. Of course, in the books, he's in the forest, and here we were in this sort of barren desert, but everywhere around him is lemons and bougainvillea, bees, and so the idea that he's the essence of nature, which is so beautiful.
And animals.
And animals,
Animals.
goats.
I had to share the screen with a baby lamb. Where
yes.
It's an unfair fight.
Myrtle, I think her name was.
Myrtle would always defeat me.
We have to go, but we will see much more of your work coming up. All right? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
4 episodes left. If you thought it's been a treacherous journey this far, I can tell you, you haven't seen anything yet. The rings are going to start doing things you won't believe. And on next week's Look Inside the Episode, we head back to Khazad Dûm and get a moment with Numenor's Elendil. You can catch us then, after the show, only on Prime Video.
Prepare yourselves.